Look, I'm going to just get straight to the point as we say, oh, baby, oh, baby, oh, baby. Good morning to everybody out there. You know who you are. I'm going to get straight to the point. It's a great call by Tim Roy, and I'm happy the Warriors got the win. They needed it. Their 5th home win, 4 in a row. They're now 10-11 on the season, 1 game under 500, but I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to lie. I'm not happy about that game last night. And there's some things that are happening with this basketball team that I'm not happy about. Now, Klay Thompson, I'll start there. Just not good enough last night. Just not good. Can't move. Just it's awful. All right. Klay was awful yesterday. Andrew Wiggins, who we played the Paul Pierce and KG sound yesterday, KG certified. Andrew Wiggins not giving me enough. 3 of 12 yesterday. I know he missed 2 games, but boy, did not look good. Chris Paul comes back. Slow things down. You need to be faster. You got to play with more pace. Did not happen. It didn't get Jonathan Kuminga sitting for the first 31 minutes of the game, and somehow, some way, falls out of the rotation. A guy who provides something that this team really doesn't have. A guy who can go to the rim strong, create fouls, and put pressure on the rim. And he doesn't play the first 31 minutes against a team that has size, athleticism, and speed. For some reason, we don't combat that with the guy who provides athleticism, length, and speed. But yet, you're down 11, he enters the game, doesn't leave the court, and you still win against Portland. But boy, how am I supposed to feel good about that win when you turn the ball over 10 times in the first quarter, you struggle to the Portland Trail Blazers, and now you go on the road for 3 games against Oklahoma City, Phoenix, and the LA Clippers. I don't know, man. I just don't know. I don't know, Shasky, about this team right now. And I just don't feel good about that win. I'm sorry. I woke up. I went to sleep thinking, okay, maybe I'll get over it when I get about 5 hours of sleep. No, I don't. I actually am a little more angry about the game last night.
So is it specifically the Jonathan Kuminga minutes?
It's everything, Shasky. It's everything as we get into it. It's everything. It's the tone setting. You fall behind 13-6 right away. 13-6 right away before you blink your eyes. The energy was flat. It's about as dead as I've ever heard Jay Center. I went in for a little bit yesterday. I was like, damn. You can hear a pin drop.
Was that just a byproduct of the team not playing well? Or
absolutely it is. Well, how could you cheer?
Well,
first of all, it's Portland. It's a sleepy day. It's rainy.
That's all.
It's a Wednesday. Yeah. It's a standalone home game after coming back from the rope from LA, and you come out there and right away you turn the ball over and you're down 13-6. Right away, before fans even got to their seats, they're playing with their Draymond Green bobblehead. They want to feel good about themselves, and boy, boom, right away. And now I get it. The common fan probably doesn't know any Portland Trail Blazer outside of Malcolm Brogdon, Anthony Simons. It's Scoot Henderson.
Well, we now
maybe
know.
Shaedon Sharpe.
I was going to say we now know Shaedon Sharpe.
Well, I mean, he ducked on Draymond last year, but damn,
and he went right around a few guys on the perimeter.
But it's just sleepy. The perimeter trio of Steph Curry and Klay Thompson and Andrew Wiggins could not make a shot in that first half, and it was just dreadful. It was a dreadful vibe, a dreadful environment, and God bless Draymond Green. And I've said this: when he's on the floor, I can't complain about him on the floor. He's giving me everything that he has. I'm not mad at Draymond Green's performance. But the other stuff that's going on with this team and the rotations and trying to figure out who starts, who comes off the bench, or who needs to play what, I just, oh, my God. I'm frustrated, man.
Well, I think this is important because you're, I consider you one of the faces and voices of the Warriors, right? And so if you're frustrated even after a victory, then I think that speaks to the big picture.
Are you frustrated?
How can you not be? but me just railing and losing my mind is I don't know if it's productive for me. I'm just saying that it's every night I watch this team, and this is just I'm going off the eyeball test, all right? And I'm sure there's advanced numbers and people can go eyeball test. It feels like to me, even though Anthony Lamb and Jonathan Kuminga played almost identical minutes last year, it feels like to me Anthony Lamb was more trusted last year than Jonathan Kuminga is this year in year 3.
Yeah.
And it's baffling. All right? Baffling. The other thing, like the big takeaway, how can you not watch this? How can you watch this team on a nightly basis and not see very clearly when young guys play, they get a jolt? Are they going to be perfect? No. But when I watch Podziemski, when I watch Moses Moody, when I watch Jonathan Kuminga, I see a jolt of energy, and I see this team galvanized. The last takeaway. I have not seen Steph this animated this early in a season over and over and over again. That third quarter, Did you see how animated he got?
He scored 17. He couldn't lose to the Portland Trailblazers.
No, but I meant not.
Oh, no. Animated, try to get the crowd hype, try to get his team hype, try to get everybody there.
I mean, when he was pressuring the ball and Jonathan Kuminga, stepped up into the passing lane and intercepted that pass and went all the way down for a dunk. Did you see he turned to the bench? He turned to the bench and he started barking. And I don't even know if it was like words of encouragement or frustration. But to me, I'm watching Steph Curry's vibe and I'm watching his body language. And I think he's completely exasperated.
No, he is. I mean,
that's just my read. I don't have any sources.
Well,
I'm just saying what I'm watching. I'm going off the eyeballs.
Well, there's a clip of Steph Curry giving words of encouragement to Jonathan Kuminga right before he comes in. He pats him on the back and he grabs him and he talks to him. And I bet you it was, now's your time to show Steve Kerr why he should be in a rotation. And Kuminga respects the heck out of Stephen Curry. He respects him tremendously. And he got into that basketball game down 11, 77-66. And the Warriors immediately go on a 10-0 run. At halftime of that basketball game.
It flipped the energy in the building.
It flipped everything.
On the team. You could feel it off the TV.
The Dubs were 2 of 16 from 3 in the first half. Right?
It wasn't good.
2 for 16. It was just awful. I was just like, what was that?
I kind of expected them to come out flat.
Well,
just because of how the season's played out.
Yeah, I didn't expect that. I expected them to play with a sense of urgency. It's time. All right, we're 20 games into the season.
But no one knows the roles.
Well, that's the problem. That's the problem. So I'm going to get there with the roles. I'm going to get there because I'm a little frustrated with that. When you look at the first half, Clay's 0 for 5. Steph's 1 for 8. Wiggins is 2 for 8. All right, that's not good enough. You're 2 of 16 for the three-point line, and you weren't creating good shots. Now, give Portland credit. I try to tell people Portland has been playing better as of late.
Yeah.
On the road. They have. They play.
Scoot Henderson is a beast.
He
plays
play defense.
Very strong.
They got one of the best three-point percentage defenses in all the league. Thibault could guard. They got guys who can guard.
Excellent
Thibault could guard. So Portland, and people laughed. I know we don't watch a lot of Portland Trailblazer basketball, but they have been playing better as of late. They were up 26 on Milwaukee last week. They were up. They beat Indiana in Indiana. They're going to the Final Four to ISD. They beat Cleveland in Cleveland.
But Bonte, if you want to be taken seriously,
you got to beat this team at home. You got to control the fact that you didn't get your first lead until it was 90-89. It's frustrating to me, but the rotation thing. And I'm going to play this cut. 888-957-9570. Because we got issues here at the Golden State Warriors. No doubt about it. There's some positives. Draymond Green being aggressive and flirting with a triple-double is a positive.
Draymond's been really good on the court.
Yeah, Draymond's been very good.
You cannot be mad at Draymond.
But there's some other things happening. Looney, I don't know what's going on with Looney.
It's been a bad year.
Wiggins, 3 for 12. Clay,
Wiggins, to me, the biggest disappointment on this team this year has been Andrew Wiggins.
No doubt.
By a country mile. The guy's still supposed to be in his prime. He missed so much time last year. And look, here's the thing. When you miss time, all right, people don't care that you miss time. When you come back, are you engaged and ready to go?
Right.
To me, I'm going, again, body language. I don't care about the stats. This guy looks like he doesn't care at all.
No.
Now, you could say, Joe, he's always looked like that. Well, when you're performing the way that you are and your body language looks like that, I'm sorry, it's a bad look. You look completely disinterested.
He also looks skinnier. He looks a bit frail.
I can't speak to that. It's tough to tell.
I'm just saying, look at his body from last year to this year.
You're
his
there.
body type.
You're right up on
I'm watching the same game you are. It just doesn't, something looks off with Andrew Wiggins. But here's Steve Kerr trying to predict the rotation.
I completely agree on that.
Every night's going to be different with this team. That's what I'm finding out. What we need each night seems to be different depending on the matchup, depending on how the game's going. It's hard to predict what's going to happen each night. It's also hard to play 10 or 11 guys. So I don't think we know. I think I said it to you guys last week. I mean, we have a deep team, a deep roster, but we don't have roster clarity in terms of, who's going to play every single night. And so everybody's just got to stay ready. And I'm really proud of JK that he did that, and he was really the reason we won.
So somebody's got to stay ready. You got too many guys. Well, you know what? This is when we were discussing it last week and how everybody felt good after the Clippers game. It's because the rotation was shortened. Now, JK got the short end of the stick yesterday because Chris Paul came back. So if you look at who the first 9 was, his rotation yesterday was Moses Moody, Dario Saric, Podziemski, and Chris Paul off the bench to go with the starters. And the starters will get to their net rating. Nobody's talking about the best net rating for the starting unit anymore this year. I haven't heard anybody talk about that because the starters' net rating has been awful. They've been atrocious as a collective group. There's no doubt. And it starts with Andrew Wiggins and it starts with Klay Thompson. Those two guys have got to figure it out, or we didn't just make – feelings are going to be hurt ego's got to be managed. I don't know what you do here, but you got to shake something up. And Steve Kerr says everything is going to be different. When we're 20 games in now, 21 games in, everything should be on the table. And I'm talking rotation changes. I'm talking lineups. I'm talking even trades if you're Mike Dunleavy. Something's got to give here. Something's got to shake. Because all of a sudden, the Portland Trailblazers, we were laughing yesterday saying, oh, man, 3 games, you got to have those games. Those are gimme games. There's not a gimme game on the schedule for this team right now, currently constructed. They can't go into any game because you know what, Chasky? Every game that the Warriors go into, unfortunately this season, they're going to go in with the athletic disadvantage. They're going to be the slower team, and they're going to be the smaller team. And if you can't pick up the pace as a smaller team, you're going to be in trouble most nights. And I'm looking at the schedule. OKC, we know what they bring to the table. We've seen them 3 times already. I don't need it to explain their matchup advantages for the Oklahoma City Thunder. I think we all know who Shai Gilgeous-Alexander is, and I think we all know who Chet Holmgren is, and I think we know who Jalen Williams is, and I think we know who the Dortcher Chamber is. Did you go to Phoenix on Tuesday? Devin Booker, Kevin Durant are waiting for you. You know what Kevin Durant said last time out? Oh, we know they foul a lot. We can get to the free throw line. Well, the Suns got to the free throw line 52 times, and I get it was a Scott Foster debacle, but Phoenix is a very, very good team. Just ask Spadoni and the Lakers. They know. And then you go to the Clippers next Thursday, and you look up, and the Clippers all of a sudden are playing a lot better. And they're starting to figure some things out. And then you come back home, and you play the Brooklyn Nets. So things do not get easier for the Warriors. And what I'm saying here is every single game they go into, they're at a disadvantage when it comes to athleticism, speed, and size. And that's not changing overnight. So why not shake it up? It goes to some more athletic guys. It just seems like, to be Shasky, and I'm going off here.
No, I'm just listening.
Kuminga, Moody, and Podziemski bring you energy, athleticism, and they get to the 50-50 balls. I mean, it's just so obvious. You got to play these guys.
So, okay, you hear me because we are 10 or 11 deep, all right? And to me, that's a byproduct of roster construction because it's all over the place. But here's the 10 or 11 he's talking about. And in no order. Steph, Dre, Moody, CP3, Saric, Pods, Clay, Wiggins, Looney, Kuminga, and then GP2's out. That would be the 11th player. Just looking at it from my flow chart, right? Like you're talking about Moody and Kuminga and Pods. I believe they need to play more. And I didn't even bring up Trace Jackson Davis because right now he's on the outside looking in. He's not even in, even there. Corey Joseph should never play. Okay, right. I'm not trying to be mean, but like Pods brings a lot more to the table, especially with CP3 back.
Yep.
I need less Wiggins. I need less Looney, and I need a little less Clay. That's the way. It's very simple to me. Like, those 3 need to play less. I'm looking at Looney for a game like last night. He played 60 minutes. I need that down closer to 10. I just do. Because to me right now, he's not bringing enough to the table. Like, he could play 10 minutes. That's about it right now. Andrew Wiggins, 28 minutes last night. I need that down to like 22.
Well, you're not going to do that because you're paying him a lot of money.
Well, you know what? Andrew Wiggins needs to wake up.
You're paying it's unfortunate.
Or he needs to go.
Because people are, I hear the Trey Clay. Here's why I'm writing it out with Clay. Number one, I do believe it's sports loyalty to a fault. I do. He's got an expiring contract. You're not locked into Klay Thompson for the next 4 years. You're not locked into him for $40+ million a year. If he wants a max deal, and he's probably not going to get that, but he can walk. And Klay Thompson may want to walk. So I'm not trading Klay in a contract year. I'd rather ride it out with him. And I get people are going to say, Bonte, you're a Klay apologist. I'd ride it out with him knowing he has an expiring contract. But what I'm doing is, what I want to do, and I'm looking at Andrew Wiggins, I'm saying, boy, I'm looked in the next 4 years with this contract and $100 million. I got to figure out a way to get off somebody some long-term money, not short-term money.
But who came in, just between you, because I see what you're saying with that. Who came into this year thinking Klay Thompson was more important to this season than Andrew Wiggins?
Nobody. I don't think so.
I know the money's a component. Just throw it aside. Not one real Warrior fan came into this year and said, Klay needs to be our second or third best player.
I agree.
Okay, so let's take Klay and just throw him to the side for just a second. Now, we could talk about him maybe taking some minutes away from some of the other guys. That's a different conversation. Andrew Wiggins has been an unmitigated disaster for about a year.
Yep.
Okay? Now, I am willing to overlook whatever happened last year. I'm empathetic. I am sensitive. I understand that there's some things. This year, what's the excuse? Like, I'm just asking out loud. What is the excuse?
He's averaging less than 13 points per game.
But here's the part. Here's the kicker. Not only are you playing cruddy, not only do you look disinterested, you're blocking time from Kuminga and Moody.
Yeah.
Right?
I know.
So there's positional blockage going on here. And then on top of this, you look like you just don't care, and you look like you don't want to be here. That again, I'm not saying every player needs to play fired up, Draymond Green level of intensity. I get it. But when you're performing poorly and you look like you're on a spaceship, you look like you're out there just floating in space, what am I as a fan supposed to think? If I'm Joe Lacob, I'm looking at Andrew Wiggins and I'm going, do you want to be here?
Well, he's on the books.
How many good games has Wiggins had this year?
This is not many.
One?
This is the beginning. This is not many. Not
one?
Many. Maybe two. Andrew Wiggins.
That's not good enough.
No, I trust me. I know. I came into the season saying,
second or third best player.
I said he's the most important player. We had the Warrior Summit. And, Willard and Dib said that Kuminga was the most important player. And I said, that's not fair because this guy might not even play.
And he's not.
He doesn't get a lot of play.
He doesn't play enough.
Out of the rotation. You heard him yesterday.
It's ridiculous.
He said, man, I was just chilling on the bench. I heard he was not very pleased in the locker room after the game. How can you be? When you're playing good basketball and all of a sudden you're the yob man out against a team like that where you need a Jonathan Kuminga. You need him.
I'll tell you, what more does the kid have to do to earn minutes? Because I'm looking at it this way. I'm like, he's getting in the passing lanes. He's getting rebounds. His activity helped create that dunk by getting that, create that 3-point shot for Steph Curry by getting that loose ball. I just, how can you watch? Now, there are nights where JK looks unplayable, believe me. But so do Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins looks unplayable as well.
So does Klay sometimes.
I would agree.
But Klay's got he's got the expiry contract. All right, he's got the expiry contract.
And he's got the resume of a four-time champion who's done things here that you cannot compare Klay to Wiggins right now.
No doubt.
Wiggins is 6 years younger, and he's in his prime, and he's playing very bad.
No, well, so Andrew Wiggins is at the start of his 4-year contract for $109 million, and I'm not blaming everything on Andrew Wiggins, but Andrew Wiggins.
He's been disappointing.
You heard from Paul Pierce and Kevin Garnett yesterday, and we could play that sound again, Spanoni, if you could pull it up on my board after the break. But they said we were expecting Andrew Wiggins to take that step, and my thing was at the Warriors Summit was like he's the most important player because when he became that two-way stalwart 2 years ago, winning the championship, it was like wow, Andrew Wiggins has his potential. And now he's floating. And maybe Steiny's right. Maybe this is just who he is. Well, you know what? It's not worth the $109 million. And he has a player option at the end of that deal. So it's not that I'm counting money. I'm thinking if I'm paying the tax and I have to try to create some financial flexibility.
You have to count money.
I have to. No, I'm not counting his money. I'm saying I'm counting the Warriors' money. I'm looking at their luxury tax and I'm looking at their team salary, their contracts. And I'm saying, well, how can I create financial flexibility on a team that is stuck with a lot of contracts? Well, Andrew Wiggins is a great candidate. He is young. He does have the team-friendly deal when it comes to 4 years and $109 million. But if he's going to give you this production, then I want to see Kuminga. If he's going to be this inconsistent, then I'd rather see Moody and Wiggins or Moody and Kuminga be inconsistent as young players. I would rather see them play through some of the inconsistencies that they provide on a nightly basis. But in the first half, Moody kept you in the damn basketball game.
The last month, who's been a better basketball player for the Golden State Warriors? Andrew Wiggins or Moses Moody?
Well, I'll say for the last 2 weeks.
Okay.
Because the last 2 months, the last month, and Moody's been up and down because of the lack of minutes, the lack of rotation spots. But I tell you what, the last 2 weeks, it's been Moses Moody by a long shot.
I actually think he's been extremely more efficient and been a much better basketball player in his time on the floor. I think Moses Moody's been better than Andrew Wiggins. And I don't think that's a hot take. I think that's just watching with your eyes. And I look at Andrew Wiggins and I'm saying to myself, there are nights where he's out there and I just don't know what, like last night, was he on the floor? That's a team he should be cooking. They don't have a lot of big dudes who are athletic who can go up against him at his size. Kuminga went right in there and it looked like, whoa, we've needed this athleticism.
Well, yeah.
That's obvious. What Wiggins should be doing.
Every day. Every single day. So, I don't like playing the blame game, but let's be honest. Yesterday was a step backwards for Klay Thompson. It was a step backwards for Andrew Wiggins. And it was disappointing because they had 3 full days off. They had 3 full days off. And that's how you come out in the basketball game at home against the Portland Trailblazers. It's very disappointing.
Steph can't be happy.
Who the hell can't be happy?
Nobody's happy. Joe Lacob think?
Who the hell? Do you think Joe Lacob's happy?
No.
You ever watch him courtside? Hell no, he's not happy.